good mate Ryan from Absolute Fishing Charters had a Jeep and a boat waiting for me at Adelaide Airport when I landed from my short flight from Melbourne. Soon we were Port Augusta bound. What a pretty trip, heading to the top of Spencer Gulf. I just can't wait to find those kings. It's 5 a.m, Port Augusta, top of the Spencer Gulf. This is Brad Smith. Brad, thank you for the invitation.
My pleasure.
What's this big lump of a thing behind us?
This is the power station, Northern Power Station here in Port Augusta, and we're standing alongside the outlet channel of the power station where the warm water actually comes out of the station here. It's 7 degrees warmer in that channel, hopefully attracting a few kingfish, and hopefully they're playing today.
Well, I might get in the channel if it's 7 degrees warmer, because as you can see there's a bit of rain starting to fall. We're in an open boat. It's going to be fun, Brad, but let's hit the water.
Let's go.
Launching the boat, there's always that air of anticipation, but always be careful because things can go wrong. The ram can be slippery. Take your time. You don't want your day's fishing to end here. Give it a bit of a push. Sensational. My jig hit the water, my beautiful little Haramusa jig. I flicked the bail over, went bang, bang, I've got a squid. How good is that? And here he comes. I don't know if you're able to see that in the water out there, but I'll try and hold in there. It's very dark still. Look at that beautiful calamari. It's so important you come out and get these squid early because you need them to get your kings, and apparently they're on the chew early. So this guy hasn't shot his ink yet. Now he has, and come on, mate. Oh, there we go.
Lovely, lovely.
Okay. Oh, he hasn't done his bolt yet. Oh, there we go. Lined up Brad beautifully. Got a hot squid bite here. Second cast, second calamari. These Haramusa jigs are just sweet. Here it comes in the water. Might be able to see it a bit better now. We've got 2 seconds more light. Look at it out there. Oh, he's just gone under here. He's going to pop up again. Here he comes, and he's just hooked by 1 candle. So I'm actually going to hang over the side and try and grab this guy because I don't want him to get away. He's a nice calamari. This is the southern calamari species, and there's a big chance this dude's going to get away, but we'll just be very careful. And there we go. Look at that. That is just absolute calamari gold. We are having a squid bonanza at the moment. Everyone is catching squid. Even my producer threw a little higher booster and a Haramusa out. He's got 2 squid jigs on, and he's nailed him. Here comes another squid. Look at this here. They are just beautiful. Now this guy hasn't squirted his ink yet, so I'm going to try and let him do the damage. Please don't squirt me. I've got a new clean jumper on, mate, and there we go. Straight in the... Oh, no. No, no, no. Just look at that. And I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, Rod Buckle, you do not want to see what is on your camera.
Try not to get squirted. Beautiful.
And what do we need these for, mate?
Yeah. Kingies.
So
Kingies love them.
That's a serious bait.
Serious fish.
They are just such beautiful guys. Now, can you please ink for me, please? Not on me. Look at that, they wait. There he goes. He's obviously already blown his stack. He's safe. In the pot he goes. Now we're keeping them in there nice and fresh, and I just want to go through something very quickly. That is a beautiful Haramusa squid jig. And the thing that differentiates a great squid jig from a cheapie is the way they actually sink. These guys sink just perfectly. They sink in that direction like that. They don't go straight down. They sink like that. They look natural. And you can see the squid has actually ripped the cloth clean off that jig. They've got a beak like a parrot, a big macaw, or a cockatoo. And that squid, you can see it's been torn to bits, but it's still effective. I love my Haramusas, and I love my squid.
Yeah, the key to catching big yellowtail kings is fresh bait. So we're trying here for some squid. We've already got a few in the tank. We might just grab another couple. It's always good to have a couple of spare ones. They're not the only bait you can use for them up here. We can also use salmon trout or garfish, but yeah, they love the big squid. So a couple more and we'll be on our way.
After a big day on the water, there is nothing better than coming back to your accommodation and just unwinding. When I say unwind, that means get the gear ready for tomorrow and try and get an early night's sleep, because I believe we're getting up at 4 AM. The good news, it's only 1 kilometre to the boat ramp and my bed is big and soft. Behind me is the Playford Power Station. It's actually the old power station, the brand new one's over there. Now we're here in late June at the top of Spencer Gulf, and this is the time to be here. All the homes in the area, they're running their electric blankets, their heaters, so these guys are working overtime to provide power. Those massive green pipes, they're the cooling pipes. All the hot water that's producing is pumping out into this area, and the Kingfish are bored up. The reason it's so good, the water's freezing cold, probably about 13 to 15 degrees. That stuff is coming out 7 degrees warmer. It's almost like they're coming up here for a holiday, and we're here to ruin their day. I'm excited. And we've got an audience. G'day, boys.
Yep, we're away. Yep, we're on.
Okay, he's only a little king, but he's a cracker fish. When you say only little.
Grab the net, mate.
Yep. It is.
We'll land him on this side if we can.
Yep, that'll be good. Organised chaos. But Brad, you're doing just beautifully. Okay.
It's a kingy.
It's a kingy. Okay, get him, let him down a bit, let him down a bit.
Oh, I can't. He's not before he pulls.
Okay, here we go.
One more in. One more
nice
in.
fish, mate. And in.
Yobi.
Brad Smith, you are the man.
Well done, mate.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith, they did well. Now that, believe it or not, that is a small kingfish for this area. How big do you reckon he is, mate?
Oh, I'd say he's about 7 or 8 kilo.
7 or 8 kilos. These things, I think Brad's biggest fish, 42 kilos. Is that correct?
That's right, mate.
42 kilos of yellowtail kingfish. Pick him up, mate, or I'll grab him here for you. That is about 7 kilos of beautiful yellowtail kingfish. Scientific name?
Seriola lalandi.
And I think that means extremely tough. Now, what are you going to do to this fish, mate?
I'm just going to pop a little tag in here.
Yep, explain.
New South Wales Fisheries Tag is part of the New South Wales game fishing tagging program.
Yep.
From the Adelaide Game Fishing Club. Beautiful.
What happens with the tag?
If you catch a tag fish, record the number, call New South Wales Fisheries, and we can tell where it's travelled to, how much it's grown. Great fish, Paul.
And you've actually done some work with...
Yeah, done some tagging up here before. We've had a lot of big fish recaptured up here, so yeah, good to see them go back with a little tag.
They're called yellowtail kingfish for a reason. They've got a yellow tail and they are the king of fishes. I don't believe there's anything that pulls harder.
Oh, they go well.
And for fish that size on that sort of gear, you can see just how hard to pull. Brad, the only thing that disappoints me, I was building myself up for a long wait. I felt like The Apprentice. They said, go and get a long wait.
Sorry to disappoint you.
It was like 10 minutes, but fishing is fishing and it's always simple. Brad saw gars busting up. Get the popper out. We got that popper going. You got the fish excited. Action, created a bit more action. That's a beautiful king. Well done, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Brad, there's only one other thing we've got to do, mate.
Let's get him back.
You are a champion. My good friend Ryan from Absolute Charters said that you were the man, and you are the man, mate, because you promised us yellowtail kingfish.
He's ready to go.
He's keen. He's keen.
He's out of here.
There you go, mate. Look at that little antenna sticking up. Away she goes. Look at that. Gone.
Fantastic. So we've gone to the trouble of catching some nice fresh calamari for bait this morning. See them in here, they're still nice and fresh. It's important to keep them fresh throughout the day. So we're doing regular water changes. Keeps them nice and happy and fresh for that next hot kingy bite. So you can see these nice big southern calamari. I'll just show one to you. Lovely, aren't they? You might think that kingies would have a bit of trouble swallowing them, but they'll swallow those like a jelly bean. Oh, look at that!
Look at him. Oh no, I've got a bit of a
Oh,
wing
the
knot.
kingy.
Oh, look at
He's
him.
got a garfish. He's chasing the gar.
I can see
this.
Look at him. Oh, he's a big
Oh,
fish
that's a
too.
big one too.
Oh, look at the size of him. Oh man. I've got rods here. I'm struggling to cast, but here we go. Oh, that was just insane.
He wanted that gar.
Let's see if he eats my gar on the surface. Look at that. I'll stop it. That's a cotton cordell popper, and he's doing exactly what a garfish does. That was just one of the coolest things I've ever seen. How's that? How big was he? How big was he?
It was a nice fish. I'd say between 15 and 20 kilos.
I was going to pin him at 20
well,
kilos,
well
mate.
over a metre.
Oh, mate, there are fish here. It doesn't get any better as an angler. We've flown across to Adelaide, driven 4 hours to Port Augusta, slept at the Big Four last night. I'd walk all this way to see a 20-kilo king chasing a gar. Let's hope you saw it at home, because that was 10 out of 10. Yes! You saw that king chasing gars. Well, that's about as close as we've got at the moment. A squidgy blue water livey, garfish obviously, an owner super moocher hook. You can see it's just looped through the front there. That hook is snelled to the line. Then there's a second one pinned down the tail. As this thing swims along, it actually flaps like that. Looks just like a real live garfish, and that may well be a kingfisher's undoing. Ole Evinrude was a Norwegian man living in Wisconsin, USA, and in 1907 he invented the world's first outboard motor, the Evinrude, and we're lucky enough to have it with us today. Well, not quite, but this old girl is still going strong, and I spoke to the gentleman who owns it. Never once in all the years has it given him any grief, and the people who service it reckon it's still running like a dream. I think you might need to invest in a brand new E-Tech. Not a 4-stroke, it's a 2-stroke, but it's got all the benefits. It's a nice old girl indeed. And you know what old Ole said in 1907 when he got his first motor running out in the lake? The boat started to move forward, and he said, Ole. Brad, 15 hours since we started this morning. Not quite electrifying at the power station, but how good was that action today?
Oh, it was great seeing that big free-swimming 20-kilo kingy chasing that gar. That was pretty good.
And I was pretty pumped with him catching a king, but there's more kingfish action coming tomorrow. We've got to get a few hours sleep, then we're back out there and into it, mate. Let's hit the road.
Sounds good.
Just setting up a little piece to camera, and our small squid behind the back got nailed. It was just a little zip. And even though it's a horrible morning, our confidence levels are quite high. We've got a few squid. Brad likes these broken conditions, but I don't like Brad, because he got me out here at 4:30. We've been rained on, messed on. Brad, you're a bad man.
Come on, mate, things could be a lot worse.
And how's that?
It's not raining, it's clearing up, there's a bit of blue sky.
And let me just say, this morning I went, fashion, practicality. Fashion, practicality. Obviously, I went for practicality. Darling, I'm very sorry. It's not a good look. Now, Brad, you really love your kingfish, don't you?
That's right, Paul, absolutely love it.
So, I know you've told me a few stories, but tell us about a typical weekend hunting kings in South Australia.
Well, we've got a few good friends that we're pretty dedicated in what we do up here, so we'll drive up on a Friday night after work. Usually got my boat left up here, launch on the Friday night, fish all night Friday, all day Saturday, all Saturday night, all day Sunday, drive back to work, go to work Monday, and yeah, hopefully got a few kingies.
So you'll sit here anchored up for the whole weekend?
That's right, in this area, yeah.
And you have your little cooker going?
That's it, cooking away.
Lots of coffee. I tell you what, you'd want the cooker going because it's a bit chilly.
That's it.
So that's just hard to believe, mate, but obviously the results are there because you've caught some nice fish.
Oh, that's it. If you put the hours in any spot, you're going to get the results.
Now, mate, the reason we come fishing with you is because you have a very, very good capture to your name, an Australian record, I believe.
That's correct, yeah.
What's the deal?
Yeah, back in September 06, got a 42 kilo kingfish.
And it's a current, what record?
National all tackle record.
Excellent, which is a pretty big deal, which means that this man has caught the biggest kingfish ever in Australia relative to IGFA rules, is that
That's
right?
correct, yeah.
Sensational effort. And what is it about kings that you love, mate? Because I've caught a few, I know you've caught a lot, and I love them, but what is it that makes you drive 4 hours and sit out here in this all weekend?
Just the sheer power of the fish. I mean, they're just awesome fish to catch, the fight, they look great, and just the whole way you go about it. It's good fun to come up here and camp out on the boat for the weekend, yeah.
Now, I know sometimes at the Olympics, someone breaks a record, like world record, and then that's in the heat, in the final, someone breaks it again, so you've had a world record for a day if you're lucky. That would be cruel. How long did the person have your Australian record before you knocked it off?
It was actually held since 1938.
No way.
Yeah,
so 69 years.
That's right, yeah.
That's a fair effort, mate. And was the guy who caught it anyone we might know?
Yeah, Clive Frith, a bit of a game fishing legend in Australia. Yeah, it was actually caught in New South Wales, so it was good to bring it back to SA.
Absolutely. Well, those South Australians are fairly parochial, but today they're being a little bit quiet because it's cold, it's wet, it's ugly, but I still think we're a chance for fish.
Absolutely.
One thing that people stop me and say all the time is that on IFISH with Tackle World, we show it how it is. And this is how it's been. It's been tough, hasn't it, mate?
Certainly has been. It hasn't been the greatest of trips, but that's fishing.
I think it has been a great trip because we caught a beautiful kingfish. I've met another good fishing friend. That's what fishing's about, travelling the world and meeting good people. Mate, nice to meet you. And if it's all right, I'll be back.
Sounds good.
I'll be back.